now we shall create our first workflow template. To do that, let's navigate to the Workflow Templates page of Itiner Workspace admin interface and press the Add New Workflow. It is the plus sign in the top right corner in a blue circle. Whenever you want to create a new item in a list, always look for the top right corner blue circle plus sign in Itiner Workspace. This is the basic data of the new workflow template. The template name and the workflow name is mandatory. Whenever you see the red asterisk in the fields, it signs that it is mandatory field. So the name will be food delivery and please add your name. It will be my name, that's the template name, and the workflow name will be food delivery as well. We can define a template group, it can be, let's say, the demo template group, and save it. Now you can see that when the template is saved, new options are displayed here. Up to this point we do not deal with them. First we have to navigate to the permissions page and add a new permission group to it. Click on the blue circle in the top right corner of the screen. You see the Add Permission. It means that you can add a new user group to the workflow template, and from the drop-down list select one of the user groups. Here, whenever you see this Add Permission or Edit Permission page or panel, you see that you can define the task rights and the workflow start permission. You can disable workflow start and you can narrow down the task rights, the execution or completion of the tasks of the members of this user group. The default is all. It means that a member of a user group can execute any of the tasks within this workflow, even if that task is not dedicated to him or her. The second option is the department. So if the user is, let's say, the member of the Team 1 user group, and the Team 1 user group access rights are narrowed down to this, that means that only those tasks can be executed in the workflow which belong to a member of this user group. The third option is even stricter, it is the owner. It means that only the owner of the relevant task can execute the task, so nobody else. However, it can be delegated to another user, but substitution is not allowed. The last setting is none, it means that no task can be executed by the users. If you select none and the workflow start disabled, then you can see that the permission panel cannot be saved, because it makes no sense. Why would we add a new user group to the workflow template if we don't give them any tasks nor right to start the workflow? So now just provide all tasks and the workflow start as well. The other thing is the default department. Whenever you create a new user and a new workflow template, the users will be the members of the default department, and the default department will have the full access rights to the newly created workflow template. Therefore, I do recommend to delete the default department. Okay, now we can return to the basic data page, and here you can see the deadline type of the workflow. Every workflow has a deadline. It can be set relatively from the workflow start, and the default value is 3 days. Workdays are calculated, not calendar days. It means that weekend days and previously set bank holidays are not taken into consideration when the deadline is calculated. So this is the relative date, but you can specify a precise date as well. It is an option, but I do not recommend to use it because the precise date, unless if it is in the relatively far future, will be reached quite soon and quite easily, and by default all the newly started workflows will be expired. The next thing is the workflow manager. We discussed the workflow manager's role in relation to the workflows. You have two options. You can leave it blank. It means that in this case, the users, whenever they start a new workflow based on this workflow template, will have to and can define the workflow manager at will. It is feasible if the specific workflow is not started too often, but it becomes annoying pretty soon if the same workflow must be started several times or even more often in one day. So, if you expect that it will be a heavily used workflow, I recommend you to specify a workflow manager. Only those users can be selected as workflow manager who have access to the template. In other words, only those users who are in the relevant permission group. The same is true for the key users. We discussed key users previously. Remember, up to 8 key users can be defined. You can do it here, just select one from the drop-down list and hit enter. These are users from the user group or user groups which have access to the workflow template. Now we can jump immediately to the flowchart and let's create our workflow template. The first one will be a simple task object which we will use. You can find a simple task object at the bottom of the right column. Simply drag and drop it to the flowchart, to the editor area and double-click. The title is mandatory, you can leave the predefined, default title intact. However, I recommend you to modify the title because the title is the main information provided for the end user. It informs the end user what to do in this step, at this task. This simple task object provides just a welcoming information for the user. Click Save. You can connect the two task objects with each other if you hover over one of them. Now you see these small circles in the task object. Select one, click and keep the left button pressed and simply pull towards the other task object. They will be connected automatically. A few words about the simple task object. The simple task is, how to say, kind of a building stone of the flowchart, a building stone which actually does not execute any task. So it doesn't modify any variable value, it doesn't do anything. It is good for two things. One is to display messages or the results of calculations. The other for commands, for example, instructions to a mechanic, unlock the 4 screws, remove the lid and remove the computer unit from the rack. Right, let's proceed. The next one is the so-called image task object. The image is for displaying images. The images can be usual pictures of anything, they can be blueprints, they can be figures. If you upload images to the image task object, then it is displayed in a way that when the user runs the workflow, the images can be paged. Okay, let's open the image task object and enter to the title field, we offer vegan food and meals with meat. Once you modified the title, navigate to the image tab and here you can see the Upload New File button. Please click. This is the list of the files that are uploaded to the Itiner Workspace. These are common image files, accessible from any of the workflow templates. Please upload the following files. You can see that the uploaded pictures have thumbnail images here. And the file name is displayed as well as the date and time of the upload. If you don't want a previously uploaded file to be displayed in the task card when the workflow is running, simply remove the check mark from the checkbox. That's it. Click to save and proceed. Don't forget to save the workflow template because the Itiner Workspace has no autosave feature. It means that unless you click the Save button or press Ctrl+S then no development is saved.